Today I'm going to run a test between a Milwaukee Fuel grinder and a Milwaukee 18-volt grinder. Brushless fuel. I hear a lot of people say, well, you only want the fuel if, you're a professional user, not if you're a homeowner and that kind of stuff. And I'm a homeowner. I mean, I like to do stuff with my tools, but I wanted to see how much of a difference there is using the two of these. It's not going to be a super fancy test. I'm just going to put a grinder on one and I'm going to grind on it for, I don't know, we'll say 5 or 10 minutes until it feels uncomfortable. And then I'm going to take a temperature measurement and then we'll switch over and we'll grind on that for the same amount of time we were grinding on that. This one weighs 3 pounds, 3.1 pounds. This weighs 3.6 pounds, so it is a little bit heavier, but I found personally when I'm using them, because this handle gets narrower, ergonomically it's actually it's more comfortable to run this one even though it's slightly heavier. That's been my experience so far. That's purely objective, but we'll get on to the test. Grinding blade, 6-amp battery. All right, this thing shut off. Okay, so let's take a look at this thing. Right on the handle, it seems like we're seeing pretty close to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is a couple minutes later, it's still getting hot. So yeah, it was a 152. So about 152. I'll look at it for a couple minutes and see if it gets any hotter, but that's what I have for a temperature now. This is 1 or 2 minutes after it was done getting used. I think the heat's still escaping. Okay, up next, Milwaukee Fuel. Okay, so we got about 12.5 minutes of runtime on the fuel with the same amount of battery versus 8.5 minutes of runtime on the regular M18. Okay, so as of right now, it'll probably warm up a little bit if we give it a few minutes, but the hottest spot I can find on this is in the mid-80s. That's Fahrenheit, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's funny because it's at 12.5 minutes and I can still pull over 120 degrees. On the M18. So one of the big differences you notice is when you're actually running it, like I have to push down on this a little bit and work it, which is probably part of why it gets so hot. But this, like when you push on it, it doesn't lighten the speed. It keeps going. The motor just feels like it has more power to maintain with a little bit of pressure on it. It doesn't slow down as much. So as of right now, you get 1.5 times the runtime, which is, I mean, you kind of already know that going into it. They're more efficient, they're more powerful. But if I had to keep working on this thing, put another battery into it, it never stopped getting hot. It would still be getting hotter, and you'd probably reach a point where you'd either damage the tool or it would shut off because it was too hot. I'm not sure if there's protection in here or not, but that's the big difference. Again, if you're really going to work a tool. If you're never really going to work a tool, I guess it doesn't matter. But if you plan on working the tools, the fuel is absolutely the way to go.